And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. For those of y'all new to the account, I am an endgame player with 3 accounts, essentially, all in the endgame, and today's video is basically going to be kind of talking about the Mystic nodes and kind of like how I'm managing, or not Mystic, the Bio nodes rather, and basically how I'm tackling those. We are currently on Veigar, which is my largest account. I wanted to do this video on Balerion or on Vermithor, who are just a little bit smaller. Their web warriors aren't as big. I thought that would kind of be a little bit more of a, more accurate representation of just kind of like a, either light spender or free-to-play kind of take on things. But Veigar is my main account. It is the account that I do occasionally, buy offers on and will occasionally whale on, etc. So, looking at my web warriors here, they are pretty large. I haven't G16'd all of them at the moment. The main reasoning behind that is just basically because, the Gamma team is currently in the game, and currently working on taking them all to G16 first, as that is a higher priority for me. Kind of very focused on the sagas and Apocalypse and all that stuff, but that is not the point of this video. So I did just want to kind of touch... I am going to switch over to Vermithor real quick, and that is my second largest account. On that account, I would say my web warriors are fairly comparable, a little bit weaker, but not by too much. So if you look over here, this is Vermithor. Vermithor does have a couple more G16s than Veigar does, and that's just simply a matter of who I took into Dark Dimension 5. Kind of last on the list, I guess, would be Balerion, which is my smallest of my accounts. That's the account that's just about 2 years old now. So, if we were to look over at Balerion, I think it kind of mirrors Vermithor over here. So let's go ahead, we'll pull up Balerion real quick. Let's see. Alright, so this is Balerion over here. Again, pretty similar as far as, what the account looks like. Let me get rid of the little thing over here. So you'll notice kind of here, Balerion and Vermithor kind of have mirrored web warriors. They're pretty similar, whereas, Veigar, they're, just a little bit more kind of consistent with each other. So we're going to hop back over to Veigar over here. Now, the reason I'm not doing this video on one of the other accounts, it's just for a simple matter of where my alliance currently is in the raids, and basically I've been kind of busy with work lately, so every time I've wanted to do one of these videos, unfortunately the bio section has already been cleared, and that just basically has not been an option. So we'll go in now, and basically bio has actually been cleared. But the way we are currently running our raids, we're basically in a 2-lane system, with the exception of 1 or 2 kind of bonus nodes, as we call them. But we've already hit 30%, so I'm not too worried about someone getting stuck, or even if Veigar was to get stuck, etc. Unfortunately, the bio boss node is down, so I can't really touch on that. I will try to hopefully be able to do an update to this video where I'm actually able to tackle the bio boss node. But I think, honestly, the spot that more people kind of maybe struggle with a little bit is going to be the second node in bio. And I think ISO 8 selection does matter here a little bit. I do think you need some of the damage output, and the only ISO that I would say is maybe kind of questionable, and it'll depend on your own account, is going to be Miles over here. And Miles could kind of either go Striker or Skirmisher, and I would say it kind of matters on whether or not you are finding that your damage output is a little lacking, or if you're having a problem landing the debuffs. or not landing debuffs rather, but if you're having a problem stripping the buffs from your enemies. And the main one that we're really talking about here is going to be Colossus. So we're going to jump into the first node. This one is pretty quick. It's not really very challenging, but I do think it is kind of important to kind of touch on a couple things, on a couple maybe like strategies. And while the Web Warriors do have pretty quick regeneration as far as their cooldowns go, with Ghost Spider's passive, you do still want to be a little mindful of that, because you kind of want to go in, having your moves ready. So this first wave, I don't mind using ultimates. Now, the one thing I will say here is the other Web Warriors on this node can be pretty dangerous, and those are actually the higher priority, at least for me. So, when I go in here, my main thing is I want to get, obviously, this taunt off of Drax, which we weren't able to do, which is okay. That's fine, but we will pop this. This should probably get him close to death almost. Again, this should hopefully either kill him or get rid of the taunt, which it did. And it does kind of like wipe the rest of the field. Now, my big target here is actually going to be Ghost Spider, and she's going to do a lot of retaliation. Luckily, we've knocked out most of the other Web Warriors, so I'm going to try to see if I can land. We got the stun, which is awesome. That obviously doesn't always land with their dodge mechanics, but now that she's stunned, she actually can't dodge, and she can't retaliate, which is pretty cool. So we're going to wipe her out really quick, and we're going to go over here. Hopefully this lands. We are going to slow Scarlet Spider down just a little bit. We did manage to land the slow, so good there. And got her out. Now, I know when people do this node, they think Ultron is the bigger threat, and his ultimate can be dangerous. However, at this point in the match, your Web Warrior's pretty, they should be stacked with your evades. So believe it or not, that first ultimate from Ultron is going to do nothing, because they're going to dodge. So your actual bigger target here is going to be Scarlet Spider. So we'll go after Scarlet Spider-Man first, take him out, and then we can basically just kind of focus down on Ultron. And Ultron will go down pretty quick. You're going to see he's going to ult here, or he'll ult in a second, rather. And I'm going to slow this down just real quick, and just kind of show he ults, he misses. And it's because you have all those dodges, and that's why it's important to get rid of the other Web Warriors first, in particular Ghost Spider, because Ghost Spider, if you are attacking other Web Warriors, she's going to be pinging, and that's going to basically knock out your evades. If you don't have those evades, that Ultron ultimate can really hurt. The Web Warriors are a bit squishy. They basically rely on their dodges to kind of keep their survivability, and they rely on AoE damage to heal. And that's going to be really important for this next node. Now, this next node is probably the harder of the three. Definitely very, I would say, maybe RNG dependent. Also, just, it's a hard one-tap. Occasionally I'm able to one-tap it, but not all that often. A lot of the times I just err on the side of caution, and basically once Dark Phoenix drops, I normally will quit out of the match and then just go in for an easy 2-tap. But occasionally, there are times I can one-tap it, and we'll talk about that. Now, something important for this node is they fixed a couple things, so it's not as hard as it was, but it is still a challenging node. So the big thing that they fixed is the disrupt with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is no longer applying the disrupt to any of the Web Warriors. He never should have been able to do that anyway, because none of them kind of meet the requirements for that. So that's been fixed. However, Psylocke over here does still give buffs to Jubilee, and even though it says Astonishing X-Men, or Uncanny X-Men, Jubilee gets buffs for that. So that is a problem. So, what I like to focus on here, I do like to focus on Beast, and I like to focus on Psylocke. And I'm going to start things off with Beast. I'm going to get some disrupts on the field, and the first thing I'm actually going to do is with Ghost Spider, I am going to go and ability block Beast, and that'll basically stop him from healing up, as well as doing that ultimate that gives the both Uncanny and Astonishing X-Men offense up. We really don't want that. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch my focus over to Psylocke over here. Now, she does have an evade. However, Scarlet Spider-Man's ultimate is unavoidable. So, boom, we got rid of Psylocke over here. My next target, because she stuns, is going to be Jubilee. I don't want Jubilee stunning my Web Warriors because then they can't dodge. Stun characters are incapable of dodging. So I'm going to stun her or kill her in this instance. Now, this is kind of the final, more or less the final wave. We're missing a death pool, but this is the wave that can kind of trip people up. Now, you can kind of go about this two ways. The first way is if you are able to get the Disrupt on Colossus or really slow him down, you can maybe nuke down Magik and then nuke Phoenix. If you nuke Phoenix first and Magik is still alive, every time Magik goes, she's just going to revive Phoenix, and that's going to be ugly because, again, she has unavoidable attacks, and that is no good for the Web Warriors. So you'll see here, I'm actually targeting Magik over here, and what I want to do is, while my Web Warriors are relatively healthy, I want to avoid AoE attacks. And the reasoning behind this is AoE is really how the Web Warriors are going to heal themselves. So once my Web Warriors start taking damage, like we've got Scarlet Spider-Man over here, he's about at half health, that's when we're going to want to start doing AoE. So I'm going to try and take this defense or death proof off of Colossus. It was resisted, not a big deal. This is kind of an avenue where Skirmisher might be more beneficial because you'll have better luck stripping those buffs. But we're still doing okay. Our Webbies are pretty in close to full health. Scarlet Spider is starting to get beat up here a little bit, and he is stunned, so I'm going to quit out of this. And he died. So that was kind of bad RNG on my end, and it happens. Now, ideally, what I would have liked to have done before one of my Web Warriors went down is I probably should have taken out Phoenix. And it's okay, I was going for that one tap, kind of a little bold on my end. But we'll go back in, and we'll clean this node up, and I should actually be able to manage the 2-tap now pretty okay. So I'm not going to full heal people, we're just going to go in, and basically what we'll do is I'll see, sometimes the death pool drops when you go back in for the second tap, it really just kind of depends. I didn't kill anyone from that wave, so I think we should still be the original 6, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, so the original 6 still. So I'm going to go back in, let's see, I'm going to slow down Colossus again. Okay, Colossus is slowed, and let's go ahead and stop Phoenix. I wasn't honestly paying attention, I don't know if she did her special yet, so basically I just don't want her putting everyone in stealth. And again, we're going to go back to focus firing on Magik. Again, our Web Warriors are pretty good health-wise, but again, like I said, trying to do the single tap, things can go south pretty quickly. So kind of traditionally what I probably would have done in that, because I just find it to be more comfortable to do the single tap, or the double tap, is I basically, once Phoenix drops, I basically focus fire on Phoenix and get Phoenix down. Once Phoenix dies, I just kind of immediately quit out, and because Dark Phoenix is actually a summon, summons don't persist through battle. And this second tap is going quite awful today. Let's see. We're going to try to land the Disrupt on Colossus. Okay, we got the Disrupt. So we will go back now to focusing. Yeah, we'll focus on Magik because she's got the most debuffs to spread. Okay, and we have to be careful because Phoenix is getting pretty low in health over here. We obviously don't want Phoenix to die, because that'll just make things a little bit more complicated for us. But I think we should be able to take Magik down, and then, let's see, this should finish Magik, or close to it. Again, not a bad idea, though. It still gets me some good HP back. And go ahead and single target Magik over here. Okay, Phoenix died via retaliation. And let's see, Death Pool has dropped. We had one unavoidable attack from Phoenix. Let's go ahead and drop Magik real quick. Okay, now our focus becomes Phoenix. We don't want Phoenix doing her ultimate, because that'll hurt. Luckily, the Phoenix summon actually drops pretty easily, and now we're basically just going to try to get some health back up. Now, the boss node has obviously already been completed, but normally what I would probably start doing here would be saving cooldowns. And just making sure I have a couple AoE cooldowns available, because again, AoE is going to be how your Web Warriors heal back up. And whatnot. So, but we'll just finish this off. Now, something else to be careful with is with Deadpool. Obviously, she does have the charge mechanic, and what you have to be careful about when you're either two-tapping this is if Deathpool drops and she kind of starts building charges, keep in mind that whenever a match starts, Deathpool actually gains 1 charge. So if you end a fight and Deathpool has 4 charges, definitely maybe let your Alliance members know that Deathpool is going to be starting with her ult available and basically the one-hit kill, and that way a person can maybe bring in a burner team and let Deathpool do her thing and kind of get that ultimate out of the way. But that's kind of, I mean, that was a sloppy 2-tap, don't get me wrong. But that's kind of how I would try to set up the 1-tap. It obviously didn't work today. I had a little bit of bad luck, and Scarlet Spider did get stunned and then basically knocked out. I do think it's a lot more reliable when that wave does drop. Basically target Phoenix first and then drop her. I can certainly maybe showcase the more solid 2-tap method, and then even the boss node on another day when that is available. Just the way my work schedule's been and when raids are launching, it hasn't really been all that possible. But yeah, that's going to be this video on just kind of a little bit of the theories behind how the bio nodes work. I can also definitely on the next one basically show with Miles being a skirmisher, just kind of the difference that does make. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please do like and subscribe. Hope everyone is having a good week, and this hopefully helps you out a little bit in the bio section. So thanks again for watching, and take it easy.